Down here in the bottom left side of the map, we got MAXPAX playing PvZ, and he has, of course, gone across the map to block Dark's expansion. Dark did not care because he was already going to mine the minerals open to take the gold. This series is going to start in style. Now, I've seen MAXPAX go 2-gate Chrono Adepts across and ruin him. I've also seen him do it and then fail and not find enough damage, and Dark, like, overwhelms him. Looks to me like we are just going to see an expand build. So he's not going to commit too hard to harassing the gold base. He doesn't want to slow down his own Nexus too much. And we'll see how this goes. So happy to see Dark having a little child now. A bit rough because he's got to go to the military soon, I'm sure. But best wishes to him and his wife. And seeing them, seeing pro gamers starting to have kids and stuff like this, it's really cool, man. Everyone's getting older, but they're living their life in many different areas. And Dark does just seem like a general winner. Very confident man. A couple drones going to transfer. Only 3. He doesn't want to overcommit to transferring. And he is going to find out in a moment that it's only 1 gate. So you see at this moment, you go, oh, it's only 1 gate. Ah, that cyber core is not finished yet. Okay. Does he transfer more drones after that? Doesn't look like it. Looks like he's still just going to say, I don't want such a big interruption. Let's just let this base build workers itself and go from there. 8 Zerglings on the way. Is he all inning? Ooh, 8 Zerglings already. That is a massive commitment. I think he's going all in. For those who don't know, MAXPAX has taken the lead in the head-to-head against Dark. 19 wins, 18 losses. Dark won the last time they played. MAXPAX won 4 times in a row before that. Dark won 3 times in a row before that. It's been very back and forth, but 19 wins to 18 losses for MAXPAX in the head-to-head. And it is a Ling Flood. That's a fake third base. He just is putting that there for show. And the Adept comes in. You can see Dark here pulling back these weak drones, really trying to make this look like a normal defense when it is actually not. The Zergling's going to try and go around. There is an Adept at home. He's looking for it. MAXPAX is about to find out. The Overlord saw it. The Overlord saw the Adept coming, so he's dodging. He's hiding the Lings. He's hiding the Lings. Oh, and the Adepts aren't checking the tower. The Lings are getting around. Oh, man, this is a dirty play out of Dark. Very well executed. Very well executed. Nice micro for MAXPAX, but it doesn't matter if you lose your gateway. He's got an Oracle on the way, and that Adept, number 3, will get out. If these Adepts get together, 3 Adepts will hold. 3 Adepts will hold. He's got a wall off, though. He's got to get a probe to the wall off. He has to get a probe to the wall off! And he gets it! Lings are in the main base, but that's okay. He can defend that as long as he holds at his wall off. Battery goes down. Notice he shades back first, so the Adept can escape from the front of the wall. And the Oracle turns on the laser. This is a shutdown. MAXPAX with a clinical hold. Lings in the main try to circle. Dark knows he has not found it. He was hoping those Adepts would overcommit. If he could have killed those 2 Adepts, he could have been able to overwhelm, but with 3 Adepts getting home safely, that is a shutdown. Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. We got Sysong Gaming's MAXPAX in the bottom left side of the map. Dark in the top. And what a quick hold that was for MAXPAX. It was a dirty attempt. Oh, Dark's gonna go gold base again. This man does not pull his punches. Now, I did this against MAXPAX the other week, and his harassment ripped me to shreds. But what you can do is you can squeeze a queen through the minerals to the other side. I'm almost certain he's going to do it. I know Rainer is the one who told Lambo about this. Lambo showed it on stream. I spent about half an hour on stream practicing different formats. Normally, the most consistent way is you just build an Evo chamber, face the queen in this direction across the minerals, and hold position 1 drone there. And the queen will squeeze through when she puts a creep tumor underneath herself. The creep tumor displaces her. Game has to find another area for her to go, and she glitches in the direction that she's facing. So the queen tunnel, I like to call it. It's a pretty good maneuver to just make it a bit harder for the Adepts to run in and do damage without getting picked at by those queens. Scarlet's a big believer that all it does is present your queen to get picked off by the enemy. And to be fair, if you think about it, the enemy could just pick it off, right? They could just pick away at it pretty bad. Probe being very annoying. Dark's not even counter-microing here. He's having a lot of his mining tonight, and remember, this does hurt a lot if you don't counter-micro this. Dark's an incredibly fast player, I say, as he has 1300 APM up there. But yeah, MAXPAX does accidentally mine a few minerals. He's going to pull away now anyway. Nexus goes up on the gold for MAXPAX, which I think is legendary. I just think as a Zerg, you can't really harass this gold base. And your gold can get harassed. So Protoss should always get ahead, and playing Oracle Blink is so good, because then you can blink across this gap, pick off the base, run around. Now, I have heard that apparently Lambo loves this map. He wins every ZvP on it. because Protoss forget that these mineral patches mine out one of these two, usually this one, at 8.5 minutes every game, and then he just runs his army in, and Protoss is caught off guard by it, and they're not ready. So who knows, if the game goes that far, Dark may do the same. A couple of Zerglings trying to sneak around, and he's not actually... So he sees the second Adept coming out, so notice the Lings are just pathing there to kind of dodge the Adept, but he cancels the Shade. Good call. He will be able to block those Zerglings. Queen's already in position to at least slow down that Adept. I wonder if Dark even knows about the tunneling maneuver with the Queen. He might not know about it. Might not be until he sees a big tournament match, because, you know, we are kind of separated, the English-speaking and Korean scene. He's just injecting, making link speed, and he's going for a Roachling all-in. Ah, it's just a Roachling all-in. Okay, fair enough. He's just going for a Roachling all-in. MAXPAX runs in, the drones evacuate. Ravagerling's pretty good, guys. You might think, oh, he's going to go down here. He might go down here with one Roach, but he's going to try and bust the ramp, and that's actually the play to make. MAXPAX has got to remember, Dark is going to all-in pretty much every game he plays against MAXPAX. That's what you should expect, but he's just not ready for it. He sees a Roach now. MAXPAX, turn around, do not harass. Send those Adepts home as well. Cancels the third, starts building batteries. He needs to wall off with gateways, anything he can. The earlier he walls off, the better, because it gets more hit points, which means it'll take a lot longer to clear up. Now he cancels his second Oracle, makes a Void Ray, which is a good call. As I said, Dark will send a single Roach there, but he does F2 it away. He's got to be careful. Changes targets 3 or 4 times, which does mean he's not killing stuff as quickly as he could. Oracle's actually going to go to the right side to try and kill the Roach, realizing if I don't get rid of that Roach, that's going to be an issue in the long run. He didn't build another gateway! Oh no, MAXPAX! He didn't build another gateway! Big mistake. Absolutely massive mistake. If he had another gateway there, that buys him enough time to warp in 3 or 4 more Adepts. Oh, MAXPAX absolutely had the money for it as well. Luckily, his gold base is mining, and the Void Ray should eventually hang on. Zealots are doing pretty good, but the Oracle's out of juice. And that Ravager will go down, but so will a ton of probes now, because the door is wide open. Unless he can seal that door, which right now Dark's not running in. If he seals the door, he can do it. He doesn't seal the door. Another Void Ray comes out. Files the warping in Zealot. Oh, a lot of probes go down. 10 workers. If he walls off, he's fine. With 2 Void Rays out, man. He might still be fine either way. Oh, the Zealot is there. But look at that. Dark gets 1, 2, 3 more of those damaged probes. Ravager goes down to the natural. So many workers going down. Zergling does get over to the right side of that natural. A Stalker whoops in there. I can't believe MAXPAX hasn't walled his base off yet. But you know what? He's got 2 Void Rays for the counterattack. Dark doesn't have a third hatchery. It's a very playable position for MAXPAX. I don't think he's ahead by any means. He took more damage than he should have. If he just built a second gateway there, guys, I guarantee you this is completely shut down. He takes almost no damage. He also could have warped in a sentry. Like Force Field, even if it just buys 4 or 5 seconds, actually is pretty huge. Nice all-in from Dark. Unfortunately, it's the exact same all-in he used on day 1 of the map pool. So it shows that he hasn't really evolved his play at all. And that's a little disappointing to me, because I feel like all the other builds for the different players I've seen are moving very quickly. Feels like Dark, this was the exact same build he did on day 1 the patch came out. Overlord does go down. Dude, that's big damage. Those Overlords dying is actually massive. So MAXPAX has got 5 gateways. He's going to go Twilight Forge and then move out to take a third base. Just warping in a pack of Zealots. Zealots, of course, will be just a cheap tanky unit that he can rely on. And the gold minerals will mine out, remember, in a few minutes, so he's got to be cautious. Void Rays run in, but the Queens do deflect. Oracles on the left side are going to grab 1, 2, 3. Not bad, getting 3 drones and a few Zerglings. Third base only now starting at 640. That's the problem for MAXPAX. Remember, only a few workers able to even mine from here. Doesn't really have a great follow-through on this. He's going to go charge and +1. I think it's more important to Chrono Boost +1 than it is charge. Charge upgrades pretty quickly. It looks like he might want to do a Void Ray Zealot pressure. And to be fair, once you get charged, Zealots are so fast, you don't have to 100% commit. You can run across, scare the Zerg into building a lot of Roaches, and then transition. Dark's going to play Spire this game. You might be wondering how I know that. I just sense it. It just seems like a good thing to take advantage of a low economy Protoss, but actually with the Oracles in his main, maybe not. So he only wants to go Spire if he can really hide it. And with Oracles in the main, you're obviously like, he's getting too much vision. Too much chance of him seeing that Spire. Evo Chamber goes down as well as Roach Speed. Lots of drones. Dark is not ahead on income at all, man. I mean, maybe sorry, he is a little ahead on income, but not ahead on workers at all. Now he finally gets the worker lead. Now, there's enough queens to defend the Void Rays, but the Zealots here, +1 in charge, is not quite ready. I think MAXPAX is just scaring him a little bit. Adepts on the left. Going to try and shade away as the Zerglings go after them. Cancel the shade into recall's the best maneuver here. Going to just cancel the shade and let them fight. That Adept on the right side will get surrounded and go down pretty quickly, though. Zealots are going to go in on top of these queens. No charge, no +1. It's an awkward timing attack for MAXPAX, man. Just not having that charge. You can see now why he chrono boosted charge. So he really wanted to do some damage there, and he absolutely could have done some damage. Probes are building behind this. Both players in very gimped positions right now. It's looking real weird. Real weird position. Void Rays go after the Overlord. Zealots are going to go after the drones. Queens on the ramp is solid. Good drone pull. I love that drone pull for Dark. I don't think you want to keep committing in here as MAXPAX. This doesn't seem like the trade. Those queens holding so strong for so long. But man, there's so many Zealots. They actually killed a fair amount of stuff, denying mining. Going to try and focus the Spore Crawler maybe. Trying to just build queens and roaches right now. Dark is in survival mode, but he's only on 43 drones to 52 workers. MAXPAX needs a 4th. It's very important for these players in this sort of game. Your main's already half mined out. You need an early 4th because the gold minerals are mining out. So if you can take an early 4th, you can transfer your workers. Oh, this is not a good attack. Now that roach speed's done, the Zealots are getting wrecked. MAXPAX is trickling into his doom. This is a very good fight for Dark. Dark is way ahead on army supply. MAXPAX throwing those Zealots away was a big mistake. The previous fight was good for him, or at least okay, because he got a worker advantage, but then throwing away a whole Zealot army there for a few roaches and a queen, not a good trade. And like I said, if you guys don't take 4th bases, this worker advantage for MAXPAX, what's it worth? These mineral patches are about to mine out. These mineral patches are mining out. He needs that 4th base, and you can already see he's transferring 6 probes there. It'll probably be another 5 or 6 probes in the next few minutes as well. So it's going to go around the north. Cell drop's always a good move. Does deny the creep spread a little. Ling Hydra actually coming up now. Ooh. Now, as MAXPAX, your first thought when you see Hydras is usually, oh, he's going to go Hive and Lurkers. But this is Dark we're talking about, and you see Roach Hydra in the middle of the map, you know what's happening. Dude, did both Voids die? Just one. But this is a very scary point to try and defend this base. And look at the way the Roach Hydra can beat the Zealots so well. Oh, so nicely done. The Zealots try to get on top of those boys. The Roach Hydra taking a decent angle. He does have groove spines. And the Roach Hydra doing nice amounts of damage. 4th base getting cancelled is huge. That is absolutely huge. Zealot drop up against the Queens. Queens do win. 5 probes go down. Dark is in the lead. And I'd love to see Dark go for an infestation pit for some Vipers up next. I think if he does that, this is pretty much in the bag. Yeah, he finds the gold base as well. Once you've got a forward position, good luck defending this. MAXPAX in trouble. And it was just him not building an extra gateway, guys. Roach Hydra does come back here. Dude, it's just getting so much. It's going to eventually get cleaned up, but how much damage will it get first? Zealots do get a couple drones up there, but the Roaches will eventually deal with it. That Immortal, oh, nice force field. Oh, the Immortal trying to defend, but the Ling Roach comes in from the top as well. So that natural mineral line's getting shredded. The bases are getting depowered. The Hydra's just making themselves so hard to deal with. He's going to kill a Robo on the low ground. Robo's very easy to snipe. Hydra's getting gunned down up on the high ground. Yeah, it's turning into a bloody corner for Zerg, but a bloody corner that's probably worthwhile because you were up 20 workers at the end of it. Man, the fact that MAXPAX still has an army that beats Dark's army right at this moment tells you that, like, man, maybe if things were just slightly different, this could be a very different game. Dark should be easily able to win from here. Bunch more probes on that gold nexus. It's only a few mineral patches left mining. 12 mineral patches ain't going to give you a lot of income. MAXPAX is going to go for a desperate counter push. Dark just needs to gather his Roach Hydra. Where is it? Oh, his Hydra's are up there. He's got to be careful. Those units are a little split up right now. This middle base will get isolated. Loses a Hydra at the front. Should be able to transfuse the Queen. Oh, Hydra's popping out and dying. He's going to bring those Hydras in from the left that naturally will surround this, though. Spore Crawler uproots to try and let his units back through the mineral line a bit easier. Hydras, drones, queens coming in from every single angle. Oh, those Hydras on the Immortals are doing pretty well, man. Stalker's getting gunned down. Drone's doing a great job of tanking. And even though the Hydras are fragile, their damage output is great. And Dark just barely able to take down MAXPAX despite a all-in that gets spotted by the Oracle. And just a failure to respond accordingly for MAXPAX, unfortunately. Doesn't quite realize how good that would be, man. Like I said, all you need to do is build that extra gateway. Totally different game, but I think he just didn't have the minerals and he got distracted by other things. All right. We got MAXPAX in the top left side of the map. He's going to go for a nice early probe block, but Dark's gone 15 hatchery. 36 seconds, gets it down. Great choice. I love that Dark has mixed this in his play. You meant to extract a trick straight away here. There we go. Very nice. You meant to go for an Overlord on 100 minerals right now. Beautiful. And spawning pool next. Great play for Dark. He hasn't doubled his workers up, so it is what it is. Slight inefficiency there. The rest of the opening good so far. Nice. Worker harassed by MAXPAX. It's funny, because Solar will attack the probe a little bit, as will I. I'm a bit of a noob, though. That spawning pool went down at 108. And that's because he's not doubled his workers up, so he's been mining these further patches rather than the close ones, and he's let the probe harass him. Meant to go down about a minute 3, minute 4 at the latest. So 3 to 4 second delay on the spawning pool might not sound like a lot, but it really slows down your queens starting. The whole point is the moment that spawning pool finishes, you want to start your queens, you want to start getting injects down, and that makes a huge difference. But look at the disruption. Putting the spawning pool here is really bad as well, because it means even if you want to attack the probe, you have to go so far around to get to it. And MAXPAX is denying a ton of mining, and this is pushing Dark's drones to the middle. And if Dark doesn't fix this and spread them back to the side patches that are more optimal, the closer patches, then he's just going to be so far behind on workers from where he should be. So he starts his 2 queens about a minute 55. About a minute 51 is where you can start those if you're really crisp on the build. But probe harass isn't free for MAXPAX either. That's a lot of minerals he gave up to get the harass and the scout off. He was hoping to block the expansion. He doesn't get the block. Then goes Nexus and Cybercore Adept, but all this stuff is delayed if you've gone for an early probe. So keep that in mind. It's not a free opening. As much as Dark's opening's far from optimal, MAXPAX isn't perfect either. Only downside of MAXPAX mining at the end, notice they're all actually doubled up. That could just be through chance. The only difference is he's got this one worker which he needs to sit on this mineral patch, and they found it. So his workers actually are now perfectly doubled up on this base without him microing it at all. And that happens sometimes. So people always ask me, how much value do you get from doubling up your workers? And I'm always like, well, it depends. There's games where they will happen to settle with 3 workers on each of these patches. Only 1 worker here, 1 worker here. Terrible. Massive damage. You're not fixing that. There's games like this where Dark doesn't fix it at all, and it just fixes itself. And it's like, well, very minimal difference. So it's the variability that you're sometimes going to have it way worse off if you do not fix your worker saturation up and you're doubling up. But there are other games where it won't make much difference at all. So a lot of players right through Diamond League don't really pay attention to that. And if a world champion like Dark doesn't bother with it most of the time, then you know that it is a bonus thing that helps, but is not necessary. There is a lot of room for error in StarCraft. Speaking of which, Phoenix into Oracle. What is this? What are you trying to hide? And you know Dark, that's his first thoughts when he sees that Phoenix is, what are you trying to hide? What is this? What are you trying to do? Third Nexus on the way. Adepts are going to go down. I mean, this is a solid setup. And Dark is still building a Spore Crawler. It's a little bit later than the early Spore Crawler. His Overlords are getting pushed back. Phoenix isn't going to be able to kill any Overlords because he's already pulled them back, but it limits his vision, keeps him a bit in the dark. Second Oracle's still on the way, so it is going to be Phoenix into double Oracle. Not a bad play. And it's nothing special. So what I like about this is sometimes you do a Phoenix first and you're hiding a giant Charge Zealot all in. And sometimes you do a Phoenix first into a very normal opening. As long as you have that variability, that variety within your build orders, your opponent can't just go, awesome, I can be greedy. I don't have to be as safe. Easy peasy. Now, to be fair, you could skip these spores entirely versus a Phoenix opening. Just go 7 or 8 queens and leave 2 queens in each mineral line. and you'll be pretty safe, and you'll have so many early drones up. So I do think Dark hasn't really pressed his advantage as much as he could have. He is going for a lair, a roach warren, an evo chamber, and a few extra gases, which is very nice. 2 queens and a spore. You gotta focus fire the spore on the oracle. He does, immediately retargets the spore on the oracle. Clutch micro there by Dark, only loses 2 drones, well done. Because if you don't retarget, it'll just keep shooting the Phoenix. That's why the Phoenix goes in first. Not only does it disable a queen, it tanks the spore shots. And if you don't micro against it, the oracles can get a crazy amount of damage done there. He's just going to pick up the queen again. He will lose the Phoenix, though. 2 more drones. It's not bad, but losing the Phoenix is a bummer. Because now Dark can just grab his overlords, and he can go, okay, you guys spread out here, get up in the top edges, put them around, maybe go drop creep on some bases. You know, there's a lot of things you can do once that Phoenix is gone, which otherwise you're a bit blind. Now, that being said, Dark has not made that adjustment, so he's not changed anything after sniping it. He's already making 8 roaches as well. Oracles do clean a creep trimmer. I gotta wonder, where's the... I feel like he should be droning right now. He's unless he's going for just a massive roach push. Oh, he's going for an all-in. He's building Roachling right now, guys. Yeah, Dark's just trying to go for a 61 drone all-in. And he wants it to look like he's got full economy, which is why he's taking the 6th gas on the front, but he's actually a little under saturation, or 5th gas. This gas missing is a little bit of a potential tell. This base being a few workers short, a bit of a tell. The main tell with an attack like this, though, because it's off a pretty good economy, is you just need to have your oracles in the middle of the map looking for it. And if you don't, and you get surprised by it, you might just die. Dark with a massive supply block has to build 8 overlords at once. That's actually not too bad, because he wasn't planning to attack for at least another 40 seconds anyway, with his upgrades being so far out. His upgrades are like 45 seconds away. So it's not a big deal for it to be delayed. Now, problem for MAXPAX, guys, he's going double Robo-Bait, double Forge, and a 4th Nexus. None of these things are necessary. If he knew what was happening, all he'd be doing is warping in Stalkers. He's got 6 gates. If he just warps in Stalkers, Chrono Boost Disruptors, he's got this hold quite easy. But his Oracles are with his Stalkers. He doesn't see the army going through the middle. Dark is going for a giant all-in, so he has enough units to counterattack and defend at the same time. MAXPAX thinks he's got him pinned. He finally sees it. Sees the roaches coming. He's got a snap recall, and he does just that. He does leave 1 Stalker behind, but most importantly, the Oracle's got out of there. Adepts do shade in. Ooh! He's actually killed 5 drones. That's very nice. Stalkers could get caught in the open. He's making disruptors right now. He doesn't need to defend the 4th base. He does not need to defend that 4th base. Defending the 3rd is what it's all about. Cannon and a battery in that base doing pretty well, man. Did he overcharge? He did overcharge on the previous wave. He doesn't have overcharge for a while. 4th base gets cancelled. 3 more probes going down. Stalker's hanging on, though. And like I said, he's way ahead. MAXPAX is way ahead in this game if he can just hang on. Double Forge, double Robo-Bait. He's got a few disruptors coming out. Dark's realizing he's not going to get any more than this. And he's droning up now. +2 ranges on the way. Big thanks, Setek, for the sub. Appreciate that. 2 more gateways coming in. Yeah, +2 attack, +1 armor. I don't think he needs more disruptors, though. I would actually say get Colossus, get Immortals, get other units. You don't want to get too stuck on too many of the same units. He needs pylons, bro. Bro, where are your pylons? Come on. Bro. Only building 2 pylons. There we go. A few more coming down now. Really slowing down his robo production. He's chronoed them again. Oh, man. So much missed production time here for MAXPAX. Looks like he's a little nervous, or maybe he's just not sure what Dark's doing. He's expecting another wave of all-in, and now he's kind of confused that it's not happening. Good stasis trap, dude. It's a juicy one. He's only lost 6 Stalkers this game. Dark hasn't thrown his army away, though. So even though Dark spent a lot on that attack, Dark's just going Hive, Hydra upgrades, 2nd Evo for armor. He's also getting Lurker tech on the way. So Dark's heading towards that Lurker game. Oh, MAXPAX is happy to trade. You just got to be careful about those guys. Oh, if he could drop a Disruptor on them, that would have been huge. Oh, you know you can time it, right? So you have a Disruptor shot land on top of them just like a fraction of a second after the stasis trap finishes. It's hard to time, but when you land it, it's so effective. First Disruptor shot completely dodged. He's got to get back to the stasis traps, man. Oh, Dark clumped up. Massive, massive 10-kill Disruptor shot. Juicy. Absolutely juicy. Now MAXPAX is back in control with the northern base, 72 probes, 2-1 upgrades on the way as well as charge. He's going up to 10 gateways, Immortals being built. It always feels like Dark is just looking for a kill move in pretty much every ZvP until he's way behind, at which point he's just hanging on. Right now, he's just hanging on. You might look at the supply and say, is it that bad? Guys, there's 4 disruptors on his doorstep. The Protoss has got soon to be better upgrades. I mean, it's a scary spot. I'm not saying he's dead. He comes in with a beautiful flank. Great disruptor shot lands on a bunch of the Roach Hydra. That disruptor goes down before the shot can land. Oh, that one gets 3 Hydras, but the disruptors all die for it. Good surround, great engage there for Dark. Very well done. He should respread his creep now, get control over these areas, and he should be A-okay. Zealots in the south ready to go in, 11 more drones building. But like I said, he's just trying to hang on. He's going to build spines, lurkers, try and just defend 5 base. MAXPAX, it's on him to make something happen here. So he's going for a couple of Immortals, a couple of Colossus. Colossus very good versus Hydras and Zerglings, not very good versus Lurkers. So I personally feel at this stage of the game, it's kind of a waste of money going for 2 Colossus. I think MAXPAX could easily rush to the next step of the game. But one thing we've criticized MAXPAX for is that he gasses out in PvZ in the mid-game. He basically takes 5 bases, dominates the map, and then he just doesn't add a 6th base. Kind of slow to get towards the Stargate transition occasionally as well. Sometimes he's crisp on it, sometimes he's not. And it feels like sometimes the Zerg can kind of turtle up and slowly wear him down as long as they keep getting expansions up. Now, I've talked about that a lot recently, and I'm really curious to see if MAXPAX has changed anything, because he's been playing a lot of games like this. So has he actually improved at that? Zealot run by not bad, buys a bit of mining time, kills a few drones, a few Zerglings. Stalkers run into Lurkers. He's building more Immortals than Psystorm. I love his ground army. He's got like all the splash damage now, Colossus, Storm, and only 1 Disruptor left over, but still. He's got +2 armor on the way, +3 attack as well, which, was that contaminated maybe? I'm not sure. Nidus Worm on the way for Dark. He's going to look for the Hail Mary Lurkers in the main base play. We've got Zealots on the right side as well. Zealots coming in on the bottom. So 2-pronged Zealot harass plus main army. Main army's not that scary. It could get jumped on, but I love the Prism coming in, the Zealots. This is a hard moment. He realizes Dark's turtling up. He's like, yeah, I'm just going to hit you from multiple sides. Oh, plenty of Roach Hydra moves to defend. Gets the Prism, though, before it can get in the main base. Great army split for Dark. And because he's not confident pushing with his main army at the same time, MAXPAX can't punish him. MAXPAX, get out of here. These guys do not belong on the Zerg side of the map. That is way too risky, and he's going to get punished. He gets punished super hard. Loses the Disruptor. Could have lost a lot more than that. He's lucky that's all he lost, I gotta say. No spines on this base yet. Dark hasn't had enough time to really cement his defenses. That being said, he went from trading much worse than Protoss earlier in the game to it being almost even now. +3 range, +2 carapaces on the way. Air upgrades is starting for Maxi. Maxi starts his 5th base. I think the ideas MAXPAX is doing is pretty good here. Tempest is going to be great. Yeah, I wouldn't mind him just breaking the rocks. Just keep the creep back. If you keep Dark's vision in a corner, he can't really be ready for it. And I love these little Zealot squads waiting. So whenever stuff starts to go down elsewhere on the map, those Zealots will get moved in. I'll find a lot of success. MAXPAX should pull those back. Loses a few Zealots, takes out a few Zerglings. Good trade for Dark. Mama's on the way. That's right, guys. Mama has started. We know how good that recall is in the late game. So we just had the chatbot there pop up the command about, hey guys, you can support with Prime Gaming. If you use Amazon Prime, you know, give us your subs. Someone said, use your money in another part of the machine to gain favor in this part of the machine. Wow, no matter what you lose. No, it's if you're already spending money on the other thing, take some of their money and give it to me. Duh. I'm not saying, guys, if you're going to go subscribe to Amazon Prime to support my channel, that's the stupidest thing ever. No, don't do that. Just give me a tip. Give me a tip. Send us some money on PayPal. Hop on the Patreon. Something like that. No one's saying that. It's if you're already paying for Amazon Prime, you're leaving money on the table, which they will give to me. Anyways, nice Roach Hydra, multi-prong in the top, as well as in the left. Sorry for the interruption there. Great multi-prong, dude. He doesn't have an answer to the Tempest, so buying time is the best technique he has. Queen's gonna have to pull back, though. You just gotta give up this base. That Lurker in the north! The Lurker in the north is doing big damage. Big storms on these Lurkers. The Storm doesn't do a lot to Lurkers, but when they run into it like that, it can add up a fair amount of damage. The Spore's doing good damage. Immortal's trying to deal with it at the same time. Hydras are getting worn down by the cannons in the north, but that base gets absolutely destroyed. Dude, this was a beautiful move by Dark, splitting his army off, realizing, oh, damn, I don't have an answer for Sky Toss yet. That's okay. I've got the mobility advantage. And whenever MAXPAX has an army that can kill him front on, Dark splits up. Whenever MAXPAX's army is weak on the front, Dark groups up and jumps on him. This is Dark's killer instinct. Doesn't matter if he's behind in raw material. He will do what he needs to do with his army. No Overseer, though. Oh, God, no Overseer. That's a big mistake. Oh, no. Mama coming out. Big clutch Mama. we always talk about, you know, gosh, man, I gotta say, Big Mama's House may have been a terrible film. May have been a very silly film. But in this case, I think Big Mama basically just saved the day. She just saved the day. The Hydra's getting wrecked. Oh gosh, get out of there, Dark. He overcommits. He does kill the third Nexus. Those Hydras fighting the Zealots at the same time. They're going to go down. MAXPAX has a vicious counterattack. The Hydras are going to kill the carrier. You're kidding me. These Hydras in the back are wrecking face right now. He's got to go for a big attack. Now, he's got 2 High Templar guys. They don't have a lot of energy. He's got 2 Psy Storms. He's got a Colossus, 4 Tempests, 2 Carriers. And honestly, I think he can win. There's only a few Lurkers out. Oh, the High Templar run in. One of them dies instantly. Another one dies. Well, the Storms were the most important part of that army because they deal with Hydras very well. Time Warp goes down. MAXPAX is trying to rebuild a Nexus, but dude, once again, Dark has outpositioned him. Feels like Dark is always one step ahead on the tactics when these two are playing in the mid game. MAXPAX, you know, it always feels like gets an advantage against Dark. Whether or not he can convert that advantage, it's always another story. MAXPAX does take out a few changelings on the map. Another Hydra run by coming in. Dark's on mass Hydra Lurker. It's not a good army. He's down in army supply, but he's got so much more income. If he can just keep buying time, he knows he'll do very well. Hydras will take out the cannon. They'll take out the probes as well. Hydra Lurker on 2 sides. Pushing into this is very scary. There's an Overseer there. If he focuses the Overseer, the cloak will be game ending. Oh no, the Lurkers don't have any detection. Dark's base getting popped. That being said, MAXPAX already took a lot of losses getting in here. And even though he can kill this base and hunt down some of those drones, he's got no economy at home. Damn, dude. I feel like even with that loss, Dark just needs to get something else up to hang on. And he can definitely stabilize. We've got these units here as well. Trying to move forward. Mothership coming in. Tempests and Carriers. Hydra's moving forward. Recall's going to go down. If he can get a lot of the Hydras, it's worth. But Dark is quick. Dark is nimble. Be quick like Dark. Be nimble like Dark. Oh, man. You know what? Right now, MAXPAX is looking like a goose. What do you mean, like a goose? Dark goose. I don't know. I'm excited. I can't believe the way he's playing. It's so bad when you're up against capital ships and Storm and Colossus and Disruptors with Hydra Lurker. He hasn't even used a single Viper or Infestor. No Broodlords, no Spire on the map. But he finds a way to do this so often that I just get excited and I start shouting random words. Because you guys hear me make fun of Dark, because his early game does suck. He has big weaknesses. But the man is beyond everybody else, far and above anyone else when it comes to making comebacks and figuring out how to turn disadvantage to advantage. He is the deepest expert in the world when it comes to that specific skill set. And that's why I love watching him play. So as much as I know someone earlier in the stream was saying, I think you have a problem with Dark, you're always talking down about him. And I said, dude, my whole ZvP is, I try to copy Dark as much as I can. I think he's so good at this matchup. I think he's actually so good at catching people off guard. But oh god, he's getting busted. Oh god, no, this is huge. MAXPAX actually is going to win that fight. He lost the fight over here, though. Dark didn't bring an Overseer, so he couldn't kill the Observer, but he's going to deny the last bit of MAXPAX mining. This one's going the way of the Dodo. It's a full base trade. It is a full base trade. He's got to run drones away. He's got the top right. Dark is down in army supply right now. But MAXPAX has no mining. He's got an Archon and the Zealot only in his main. Not only that, Recall, 30 seconds away from being available. A couple Tempests and Carriers coming in. We've seen this. Remember the TLMC on Amphion. The map where MAXPAX had a Sky Army that Dark couldn't kill. He base traded and then won with Burrowed Infestors. Unfortunately, in this case, there's no Burrow, there's no Neural. Nonetheless, he's going to try and use a Nidus Worm to get out of there. The drones were hiding in the Nidus Worm. He could pop those out on the other side of the map. The Hydra Lurker comes in. The Zealot goes down. Are there any Overseers? There's no Overseers. Oh, if there was one Dark Templar on this map, it could maybe win the game. But MAXPAX never got a Dark Shrine. Now, he's got Probe alive. That's his only Probe. That Probe needs to hide. He needs to get back home and defend. Capital ships! Capital ships! Oh, the Colossus gets one shot by the Lurkers. The Immortals coming forward, though, combined with the Carrier Tempest. Can he overwhelm the Hydras? The Lurkers are going to be able to take out all the ground army. The Tempest can take out the Hydras. Now, for those who don't know, 3 Tempests. Oh, the Lurkers escape! The Lurkers escape home! He can pop them out at home. Lings in the north. The Immortal in the choke point has 17 kills. How many drones did this Immortal just kill? How many drones did this Immortal just kill? What in the heck are we watching right now? That is a +3 armor Immortal, guys. It's taking half a damage in attack from the drones on the Zerglings. But and its barrier comes back up. It finally goes down. My lord. There's still 3 Tempests, guys. 3 Tempests have enough damage to one-shot a Hydra, I believe, which is obviously a disaster. Now, MAXPAX doesn't know about the top right base. It's this base long-distance mining, and it's the top right base is actually the more important one. Dark's happy to lose this base as long as the top right goes unnoticed, but he has to go across the map and keep base trading. Lings, Lurkers, Hydras, anything. 1 Tempest and 1 Carrier got left behind to try and defend. The Lings running past is actually really good because it forces at least 1 unit to go home, but Dark F2s it back. Oh no! Still no Overseer for Dark right now. Hydra Lurker gathering up in the middle. These are the games you only get when Dark and MAXPAX are playing. Because MAXPAX has such ridiculously refined early game. He's so good at getting ahead. But when he's facing Dark, he ends up being a little bit of a Butterfingers. You know, sometimes Dark, you don't realize Dark greased himself up before he hopped in the arena. And trying to hold him down and choke him out, it's like Dustin Poirier trying to hang on to a bloody guillotine. It's a reach, man. MAXPAX trying to finish these games. It's like, it's just so hard for him to actually win. Still no answer to the carriers, but guys, MAXPAX is out of interceptors. He's only got 10 interceptors across 2 carriers, which means it's 5, about 5 each. That's not many, and he can't replace them because he's got no minerals. The Hydra's killing the interceptors actually wins the game. That carrier was out. MAXPAX has to GG because he's losing his last buildings. Dark, you absolute savage. How are you winning this series? I don't know, but I love it. All right, guys, what a barn burner. Down here at the bottom right side, MAXPAX. Got to be a little frustrated. This could have been a 3-0 if things went differently. But isn't that just the story of StarCraft? It's just, I gotta say, it feels better to make comebacks from way behind when you don't really expect anything. You're like, yeah, maybe I'll win, probably won't. As opposed to lose when you're ahead feels much worse. I guess that's what I'm getting at. When we say, oh, it could have been 3-0, and we're like, well, of course it could have been. Yeah, if you played better StarCraft, it can always be 3-0. But I mean, we definitely saw MAXPAX with the potential, the early enough scouting in game 2 to block the all-in with a gateway wall off is an easy hold in my opinion. Oh, he's going to proxy hatch? No, he's just going to hatch block, surely. Yeah. Just the drone going a bit far south. I was like, what's he doing? So Dark's doing his 3 hatchery before pool, guys. This hatchery did get delayed by about 12 seconds, maybe 15 seconds. And going for a 2nd gate and a core is Max. Wait, why is MAXPAX going 2 gate? Wow. So MAXPAX is actually going to do the 2 gate adept harassment. I think this is a decent way of dealing with it, but if you do this, I think you have to stay single gas until after your Nexus is down, usually. Oh, he's going to chrono 2 Zealots out as well? Okay, not bad, not bad. No, is it just me, or did he start that 2nd pylon in the main surprisingly quickly? Like, I guess like the 2nd he saw what's going on. And it's because Dark has done this so many times, where if you don't see the hatchery go down, you're like, yeah, he's probably going to hatchery block me, because he loves doing this 3 hatchery before pool, where one of the hatcheries is, of course, blocking you. But his pool and gas are so delayed. So you can actually chrono 2 adepts across, get them there just as the queens are popping out, way before any sort of link speed is finished. Now, only able to chrono 1 of the adepts, but that's the cost of getting 2 zealots. And getting 2 zealots out clears this hatchery out. I mean, look at that. Even if you let it finish, that's very expensive to let that finish. Yeah, because it would die so quickly and the creep wouldn't last very long. And, oh, adept gets it. Nice, which means the drone doesn't get in the main either. He does go 2nd gas Stargate, which, like I said, I think you should probably not do that. But I think he's going to do fine with it. He'll find a way. Spine Crawler's on the way. This is how afraid Dark is of the 2 Zealots and the 2 Adepts. Look, he's down in Workers, despite it being 2 base versus 1 base, which I guess is his advantage right now. Nexus starts up behind this for MAXPAX. 3rd Adept is building as well. Spinecrawler is going to really anchor this against the Zealots. The Zealots could try to run around the south and hit this side of the mineral line. Attacking into a Spinecrawler is not advised. Good idea to maybe just leave the Zealots at the 3rd base, denying an attempt to take the 3rd. You don't really need to do damage. You just need to keep Dark away from the 3rd base. And yeah, he's going to rotate around a little bit. Not a bad move. Oracle number 1 is on the way, about to be supply blocked on 39. MAXPAX not building a pylon. It's a situation you don't get as much practice in, so this 39 supply block is pretty common. And he's taken a lot of damage, and he hasn't really done any damage yet, other than forcing Zerglings. And to be fair, a Spine is obviously nice, but he's going to lose the Zealots, loses 2 Adepts as well. I mean, that's a fantastic hold. MAXPAX way overcommitting. And Dark had no way of securing this 3rd base until Link Speed came out. 2 Zealots, 3 Adepts was not going to go down to 16 Zerglings, guys. So Dark would have had to build way more Zerglings to secure this 3rd base. MAXPAX definitely, I would argue that MAXPAX comes the worst off the openings. But he's very good at probing and all that, so we'll see how it goes. He kind of needed to trade some units because he was supply blocked, like I said, but As the second Nexus finishes, he's okay. Oracle takes big damage for only one drone. Youchie, youchie, youchies. Second Oracle comes up, third Oracle as well. 2 Adepts coming out at a time. MAXPAX looking for a quick third. It's not too delayed considering the messed up early game he's had. But Dark's Overlord will see this immediately. Look at that, man. Dark's got the vision. He's all over it. Spore Crawler in the main in the natural. He's got 5 Queens, about to be 7. He can rally over to his third base now as well, since his main is a little oversaturated, as is the natural. The Spine Crawler there is kind of funny, and I think this is just because so many Protoss shade Adepts in here. And if you then pull the drone south, the Adepts get blocked by the Spine and picked off. It's a little weird, but that is a common thing on this map specifically. Lair starts up. It's a pretty quick lair considering what's going on in this game. Bunch of Adepts coming through the middle. There's only 8 Zerglings. And the Adepts are going to pick off that creep. Rainer has pointed out that the Adept Oracle pressure from guys like MAXPAX is one of the most annoying parts of their early game, clearing all your creep. And, oh, the Spine moved, which means that exact position we were talking about does get taken advantage of. The drones need to run. Drones need to run. That being said, MAXPAX is not focus firing because he's busy with the Oracles. He gets 3 kills there. And Oracle in the back gets another kill as well, but he loses an Oracle. Loses a bunch of Adepts. I gotta say, Dark's miles ahead. I don't want to call it yet, but this looks like it's kind of like Dark just threw him off his opening, made him play a weird situation. And after the hits to his confidence from the previous games, whereas Dark's been kind of buoyed up, or buoyed, as you guys say in America. For us, we just say buoyed. But I kind of like it. You guys say it a fun way. Buoyed. I mean, when we look at it, we go, that's how you say it, just buoyed? Look at why does it spell so weird? We definitely all ask that as children when we get taught about that word. But anyways. Roach Warren's on the way. Yeah, Dark Spirits have been buoyed. He's destroying it. He's smashing. He's absolutely smashing. So, Robo, I mean, what are you going to come back into this with? It all comes down to figuring out what Dark's doing, and Dark's decided Ravager Bane. Not a bad style. You know, you can hit a pretty savage 70 drone Ravagerling Bane timing. It's very hard to stop when the Protoss has had an awkward start. That being said, MAXPAX is not that far behind in workers. He's got 4 gates. He's got a Robo up. If you can get out maybe single Robo Bay, go for like just a few Disruptors or something, that could be huge. Gonna go Templar Archives immediately. Stalker Storm. Stalker Storm can work. Stalker Storm's a very efficient style as well. Baneliness is on the way. 8 Roaches building. 4th and 5th base. I love that choice. If you lose one, you just transfer your drones to the other base. And he's already building a lot of Roaches. 72 drones. Baneling speed's on the way. Roach speeds is on the way. +1 melee. Almost finished. He's getting a pack of Roaches. It'll be a lot of Zerglings behind the initial Roaches. And he's got plenty of units. He can defend this. He loses an Overlord. Blink's not quite ready. Those Stalkers on the right side. Oh, gee. Oh, gee, Rick. 4th base does start behind this for MAXPAX. Doesn't have a Robo Bay or anything. I think he's got to play that Storm. But man, it's so hard to defend this 4th. If he hangs on and brings this back, I'll be so impressed with MAXPAX. Dark has so much momentum. I mean, this man's got a thicker mow than I've ever seen. This man's going to need a Manscaped sponsorship. This is a fearsome amount of Zerg. You're going to need a couple of Psystorm to lawn mow this army for sure. Couple creep tumors going down. Baneling speed's almost finished. I don't think Dark should wait for +2 melee. I think he should pretty much morph Banelings now and just go. Every second he wastes is unnecessary. He hasn't been droning for a while. As long as he hits before 9 minutes, I'm probably okay with it. But if he hits right now, it's actually game over. It's actually, like, there's just nothing MAXPAX can do against this. He sees a mostly full 4th. Makes him think, oh yeah, Dark's kind of macroing. But even Dark's macro Ravagerling Bane timing is still going to be so hard to stop. 34 Banelings are morphing. He's letting Storm finish. The High Templar have just warped in, though. Dude, MAXPAX took forever to warp in High Templar. MAXPAX really did not get his High Templar as early as he should have. He should have had Storm a while ago. Storm upgrades finished, but yeah, he's not even morphing. He's not even got Storm. He's just morphing Archons because he's realizing, oh crap, I don't have much time here. Oh man, so he's made Storm, but he's just got 2 Archons and a bunch of Stalkers. He's about to get hammered. Oh, battery overcharge activates preemptively, but it's the 4th base that Dark's decided is the weak point. If MAXPAX can defend this, he is a wizard amongst a bunch of magically inept morons like myself. Storm does land on those Banelings pretty nicely. High Templar getting chased after, forces them to morph into an Archon. There's just so little material. 12 probes going down in the 4th. I can't believe he took the gases on the 4th as well. MAXPAX played this so greedy. Going for a 4th base double gas and like 80 plus probes. When he had this bad of a start, MAXPAX really not adapting to the situation he was in. Playing a little bit on autopilot, and Dark is just being clinical with like, hey, I had a great start. Make a good amount of 4 base workers, but I don't need to go 90 drones on Hive. I can just win. If I make the correct upgrades, plus 2 melee now finishing in, and just go, don't give my opponent time. If there was 6 or 7 storms, I can maybe believe MAXPAX could have held, but look at the numbers, bro. Look at the numbers. Dark, absolutely dominating play. Rolls in with the Banes. MAXPAX taps out before all of his probes dies. He says, quick, leave, 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 leave. I don't want to see any of it. And he does get absolutely stomped on that. Zealot Adept commitment. The moment he saw the Spine Crawler, I'll tell you guys the big mistake he made. Let me explain to you on a real basic level. What's the big mistake? When you see that, you know Dark has already committed so much to defending. You're already in a good spot. And rather than attacking into it, pull back and just deny the 3rd, hang out for a minute or so, and then just recall home. Because what he's going to have to do to secure a 3rd is he's going to have to build like 20 plus Zerglings. About the time you think those Zerglings have built, you just either walk home or you recall. And if those Zerglings can't surround and kill your units, you're just ahead. Because his 3rd is so late, and then you can move out your units, secure your own 3rd with like Oracles and Adepts and Zealots. And it's such a good play. But the moment he commits in here, Dark just picks it in with the Queens and the Spines, loses a couple Zerglings for 2 Zealots and 2 Adepts. And he's like, oh, cool, I get to take a 3rd base now. There was like no way I could do that unless you made that mistake. Unfortunate for MAXPAX, but it is what it is. Small mistakes get punished big time. And the funny thing about watching Dark versus MAXPAX, and I always say this because people say Dark's ZvP is bad, and I go, look at the stats, and they go, well, yeah, I mean, he gets lucky. And I go, you can't get lucky this often. It's not a thing. It's not just luck. He is very good at finding his opponent's mistakes and creating opportunities for them to make mistakes. And he does it repeatedly at such a high enough frequency that he makes the best Protoss players in the world fall apart when they play him. Is it the most stable, safe play? No. Does his early game lack refinement? Yes. Is he good at forcing mistakes out of his opponent, showing them weird things they haven't seen before, and knowing how to capitalize upon those situations? Heck yes. Dark is a wizard. Once again, he's the eternal wizard. He is the grand ultimate arch wizard of awesomeness. He's an absolute beast, and he is one of the best comeback players of all time. And that is his legacy, and why he belongs on the greatest list of players of all time as well, which I didn't even talk about in that video, but you guys know he belongs there. I think everyone knows he does. GG. Well played, Dark.